I'm your host, Ken Patterson. We are at the 13th annual St. Louis Prototype Modelers Meet. I'm doing an outdoor photo shoot. We're going to talk about this table saw. That's absolutely magnificent. This is the best hobby in the world.
What's neat?
What's neat?
What's neat?
What's neat starts now.
Catch the What's Neat podcast every week and full episodes of What's Neat every month at the Model Railroad Hobbyist YouTube page.
And after
Mike's thing.
Right.
This is such an easy act.
This is cool. Okay. Are we ready?
Ready.
Okay. Hit the record button.
Okay, it's
Ken, go to your
recording.
corner. All right. In 3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week in Model Railroading Show is made possible by viewers like you and is proudly supported by Model Railroader Magazine, helping enthusiasts become better modelers for more than 90 years. To learn more, visit trains.com. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com.
Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Daniel with What's Neat with Ken Patterson. Well, as you see, Ken is not with me. I'm going to go ahead and host the show. He's working on a project. Josh is here. Mike's here to run a camera. I'm here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. But I'll tell you what. Hey Josh, you around?
There he
right
is.
Here, my friend. Hi,
Hey, how
are
you
ya?
doing?
So we're going to go check on what everybody's doing. So why don't you follow me?
Here you go.
We got the What's Neat transportation here, but we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. So follow me around here. Hey Ken, what are you doing over here?
Well, remember Tom Johnson's layout?
Yeah.
Come
Do
around
I
this
keep
way.
talking about Tom Johnson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Tom's 1 foot wide scenery that was so spectacular, I still think less is better. And all the different ideas that I've had for this corner that I've been explaining to you guys over a period of time, just too many different ideas, and it was finally time to do something. So I pulled out the chainsaw yesterday, and it wasn't that abrupt. Actually, I wanted to just change it. So instead of adding on to it and doing, all the different ideas I threw out there, maybe an Amtrak, storage yard or a subdivision with some homes in it, I decided to cut out everything and temporarily, for now, leave the foam part of the layout that was originally there, put it back. So all the mountains are going off the back, everything's going off the front, it's only 1 foot wide. And what I'm eventually planning on doing is, you've seen me build this diorama on the other side of the basement. We put lights on it and a lot of other things to it. And it's got 3 tracks running through it. I'd like to continue those 3 tracks over the washer and dryer area right here. Go ahead and show them this, Daniel. This is built on a piece of steel, 2x4, right?
Joist. Yeah.
And so it's about 4 inches across, which is perfect for wrapping in oak and making a flat surface that doesn't warp. You can span 6 or 8 feet with this material and it will not bend over time. I love that. But what I need to do is make it wider than the 4 inches it is now to accept 3 tracks. It'll fit over the sink. The lighting at the cabinets, that will work. It's going to have to come into this corner here And what I've got now is a 48-inch radius, which is very acceptable, but I'd like to make the radius bigger. That'll do two things. That'll bring the tracks closer to the front of the layout, if that makes any sense. And it'll also add more space to the back. It's very interesting sometimes to me to stand in a corner of the layout. It's a different perspective than what you're used to. The Midwest Valley Modelers layout, we could stand on the inside of it, or we could stand on the outside of it. With an around-the-wall layout, you can never stand on the outside of your layout. So, kind of just something different. Make it smaller. I plan on this section being eventually beautiful, maybe 3/4 inch stained plywood to match the motif of the room, and run it all the way across 3 tracks. Well, what dictates my radius, and I just did this, this is my computer graphic, I did this here on my CAD system. Here's my computer mouse for drawing circles. I know I'm making a joke, but the fact is, this is the easiest way to do it.
That's right.
1 inch equals a foot, right? So I measured the walls, that's simple as can be, and then I put on there where the stack is, because this bathroom stack is going to dictate the biggest radius I can do. And so essentially what I've come up with is I can put a 69-inch radius on the outside and a 62-inch radius on the inside, make this corner, it'll bring it forward about 6 inches towards the viewer, and it'll make the backside 6 inches wider. And the other plan was, with this open space that you see about my feet here, down below, I think it would be a great spot to build a 4-shelf system that's deep enough for 2 scenery bottles deep and store all of our scenery products. I end up with a lot of colors for all the different dioramas that I build for the different manufacturers for photo shoots. So I got a lot of this stuff, and I need a place to put it. So I think that's what I've been working on. And I filmed all of this and made a video for What's Neat that's going to run sometime in April.
Oh, that's super cool.
So yeah,
Right.
It's nice with you guys running the show like this.
Yeah, so come on with me. I have these amazing buses here, and there's nobody else that can talk about these buses other than Mike Buddy. So
Hey, well, thanks. Yeah, this one and these 2 Dodges came from my buddy Bob Johnson at Masterbuilt Models, and this is a company that I had never had any models from, called Iconic Replicas, and this is a new model of the Eagle Model 05 that was built just specifically for Continental Trailways. They wanted to compete a little bit with Greyhound in their I forgot the name of it now, it escapes my mind, but just for the comparison there. And then this is the Rapido City Bus, and so those 3 models compare pretty nicely together. This is a 40-foot model, and this is a newer model that I saw on Ken's shelf of an MCI, but that's also from Iconic Replicas. So I really like this model. This is a model of a bus that actually still exists in a bus museum in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and it's this. They got the number off of it and everything. So,
wow.
I'm sure they did everything right on this.
Well, me being born and raised in St. Louis, I've seen this and that KC95 symbol just about everywhere. That's burned into my mind forever. So
Yeah.
these are really, really cool.
Yeah, thanks. Scenic Cruiser is the name I was thinking
Scenic
of.
Cruiser.
And that's from Classic Metalworks, Mini Metals, even though it's made out of plastic. But the on the end over here are buses from Burkina, and Burkina's really been releasing a lot of North American models lately. And this is a 1969, 1970 Dodge, a school bus chassis, and I brought one of the old Bush buses along to compare, and they're exactly the same height and width and everything. I think this one is slightly shorter, but this one was international. I put a Chevy nose on it just to make it a little bit different. Now this one's missing the mirrors and the stop sign and stuff, but
The wheels on this one looks way more realistic than these. I guess because they're shiny and it looks brand new.
Yeah, right. And so, once they're in service a little bit, they don't stay shiny very long.
Absolutely.
And then here's one decorated for the New York City Police Department. And but I was pretty excited when I saw these come out because I'm hoping maybe they'll use that front end, that Dodge front end, for some other things like maybe dump trucks or
I can't wait. I can't wait for Neil and the gang at East Coast Circuits to get a hold of a couple of these and turn them into what they do. So
right.
All right.
So,
very cool.
All right. Yeah. Thanks again to Bob Johnson. He sent me a few other things I'll be showing over the next few weeks, and then I got the new cars in from Moloko, those box cars that I ordered. I got a bunch of stuff. So.
We'll have to talk about those next time.
Right.
Why doesn't everybody follow me? And Ken's doing more stuff in the workroom. Ken, what you working on now?
Which part? I want to know what's in this box. This looks interesting.
This is all Daniel's stuff, it looks like.
I got one of these beautiful models right here. Remember these?
Oh, yeah.
This is a K27 from Bachmann. I think they came out. When did they come out with these? Was it around the late 2000s?
Only you would know.
Yes, I guess I would.
That's pretty neat.
This is one of the models I ran on the layout outside a lot. And this is Rio Grande Southern number 455. 455 was a locomotive that had a famous history in the fact that there's different versions available for the model orders because the locomotive changed throughout the years of its service. This is the locomotive that had the train wreck on Dallas Divide. That's the part of the Rio Grande Southern that I actually modeled, and I've shown this photograph. We actually ran it as one of our ads. Oh, I want to talk about that tonight too. But so when this engine wrecked, they completely rebuilt it in that they put a new cab on it, and this was a steel cab off of a standard gauge locomotive. So I took the roof off of this. I'm cleaning it up on the inside, and I'm going to make it really, really nice.
I can't believe how
I think I'm going to put it on
detailed
eBay this
interior
week and
is.
let some other wonderful person enjoy this on their mantle. But it's dirty, it's dusty. I've always lubricated them. I've always taken care of them. It runs like a clock. And hats off to Bachmann Industries. There's 2,000 parts in this model. I know because one of them I got sent to me, I had to replace the frame on, and I learned a lot about this model during that project. But it plows snow, it runs great, great big motor in it, and free rolling drive. That was another neat characteristic of this locomotive, was that when you ran it.
Yeah. I know.
What am I rolling over?
Set it
I'm
down.
rolling over there?
You're going over the packaging.
Yeah, see how the wheels, this is just like Challenger Imports, a brass company used to make on, Hallmark's models. Bobby Hull made free rolling drive Santa Fe locomotives a long time ago.
Detail.
Yeah,
That's
all
another
over
reason to
back
take the
end
roof
and all
off. Get
that.
this detail inside here, Josh.
Unreal.
Where you at? There's just amazing amounts of details in these large scale models.
All your levers, Johnson bar, throttle, and the boiler back head, and then your
Right.
different
Unfortunately, I
valves and
think I
gauges.
lost the door on this one, but instead of
I got you.
we've got some really cool books from Kalmbach, and I picked this one up at the grocery store. I want to talk about this because I love it. I've been looking at this a lot this week. Model Railroad Planning. This one is the one where it's announced. This is the first Model Railroad Planning where it's under Firecrown, and it says that right at the beginning. This is all brand new.
Cool.
And the layouts and the photography and everything looks absolutely amazing in this. Check it out. I got it from my grocery store, so.
I was just browsing through this before we started the show and all that. Looks like a lot of great ideas that might inspire me on the next big layout that I might build in my lifetime.
You're going to like this one, Daniel. It's 3-rail Lionel. A lot of the classic display and showroom layouts. It's a historical piece for the 3-rail folks. And I heard Lionel Trains is coming out with HO scale models. They're making a Berkshire. Yeah. Lionel, welcome back to the HO scale market.
Yes, welcome back, Lionel. Yeah, they got a hold of a lot of the model power dies and castings, and that's how they're able to reproduce some of these HO models that they're making.
Modeling Short Lines by Tony Kester is another book that Kalmbach had sent. Or, I'm sorry, did I say that? Firecrown. It's so hard to get used to that.
Yeah.
After 35 years.
Everyone's having a problem, I'm sure. It's
I worked
not
with
just
him.
you.
I worked with him since Russ Larson.
Ooh,
He
wait.
was so great.
You know, back up.
No, there's a lot of really good segments in this book about small, short dioramas. Short, small modeling railroads, if you know what I mean. A lot of shelf stuff in this book. It's a great publication.
Looking for that orange one?
Well, no, I just think that I just saw a
They
picture.
can't see
Yep,
what you're looking for.
there is.
Do I have to show this?
Nope, there's 3 pictures there. Arkansas, Missouri Railroad. That we know a couple
Oh,
people
yeah,
that work down
Joey.
there from Arkansas.
Hey, Joey.
Oh,
There's
wow,
some of your
Joey Gento's
guys'
railroad.
Yeah.
railroad locomotives right there. A lot of your Alcos and the grain elevator at the bottom. So it just caught my eye, and I thought that was pretty cool to see
Cool.
here. To look into that
You see him in the cab?
sometimes.
All right, I keep taking it from you. Modeling short line railroads.
You're okay.
Display layout, showroom layouts, correct? And I
Yes.
really like this one that I was just looking
I
at.
like that.
Model
picture
Railroad
on the
Planning
back.
of 2025.
Yep.
Trains.com, that's where you go to find all these wonderful publications. That is the Firecrown website, which is actually new and really kind of cool.
Neat.
Where else do you want to go? You know what, I'm curious, while I was getting over here to do my little segment with my new pencil pointer here, I like this.
Oh boy, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I like back
Give
away.
me room.
What's
It's
in
even
the, what's
worse
in the
than the
box
pencil.
over here?
So, anyways, as of course you guys
Is
all
this
know.
just the stuff that you weren't going to talk about?
Well, no, it's just some stuff I brought.
You
and
want to
there's
sell
just
that?
a mismatch.
I like that. This could be a nice private car.
Right, these are some. This is like a private passenger train. I'm not much into passenger trains, but I kind of decided to go ahead and break out of my.
Show 'em what's in the
comfort
box.
zone.
Yeah.
Come on, Josh.
A lot of this stuff I just got
Everybody wants
IHC,
to know in the box.
Walther's passenger car trucks. It may not be accurate, but I was able to make it all work. And as you guys see here, some of my handiwork underneath of modifying coupler boxes, stuff like that. And I also picked up a Broadway Limited 462 Pacific with Paragon 3 in here.
Would you go to a swap meet?
I did. Steve Mantia's show that was in
Okay.
the weekend after
So
December.
this is all new stuff to you?
Nice.
Well, not particularly, but some of this stuff. Now, these 2 diesels, they have the new Soundtrack's Blue Nami decoders in them. Both of them do. So basically, if I was to, I could hook up a little battery into
Yeah,
them.
so what have I got you
Dead real.
want? What have I got you want?
I don't know. I don't think I want to sell them yet, but all these cars are bought from a train show. I've had this for the longest time in my life, since I think I was 6 years old. This is one of my first passenger cars I got back then.
And you're getting rid of it?
No.
We're
We're not getting
that's
rid
a
of
piece
it.
of your childhood.
That's a piece of my childhood right there. I wish I had a couple more pieces, but I don't. And then other 2 locomotives here. I put a Tsunami 2 in that. And then I've also got a factory Tsunami 2 modern UP switcher that's still in the box there. And you guys can see from that picture there, that's just what I model on a daily. But with this stuff, I thought I'll go ahead and break out of my comfort zone and go a little bit farther in the past.
That's
I love
very
it when he's
cool.
getting out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, this is nice.
Why do they always deliver the packages to the front? I don't know why. It's clearly lit. We've got a photograph that we're going to show off today from John Day. He contacted us through our What's Neat This Week Facebook page and showed us this picture of his What's Neat boxcar on his layout.
Pretty good.
And it's a really nice building in the background there, John. That it looks scratch built to me. We've got the What's Neat boxcars available in boxcar brown, this light blue color, and the dark blue like CSX paintwork. Patrick Maltby is the gentleman that did this car. In fact, he did it on both sides differently. He's a tattoo artist.
Nice.
I know, this was one of the older versions, and the most popular seller one we've got, of course, is the one with the arch on it. So with that
Very
said,
cool.
somehow I need to get over there. Is there anything else?
Why don't you take us over there
This
then?
is such an organized episode. But you know what? This is going to be a really easy edit. We can get this thing out Monday. As soon as I photograph the models that Daniel's supposed to be talking about. Daniel, let's talk about those engines from Intermountain. Ta-da!
Oh, we meet again, don't we?
What have we got here?
Well, Ken, you looked at me and said, Daniel, I got some Intermountain boxes here. What are in the boxes?
Right.
Well, what I'll tell you is some nice 4-axle units. We got 4 different road names here. Looks like new releases from Intermountain. All these are short lines. We'll start off here with Santa Fe and Southern.
GP16s.
GP16s, thank you. They are either equipped with ESU Lock Sound or Lock Pilot Silent Mobile DCC. Starting here with the Santa Fe Southern, a couple facts about it. It looks like it's a short line in New Mexico, operates also as a tourist railroad, and it took over a portion of the old Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe when they had merged into the BNSF in 1992, I believe.
It looks good in outdoor sunlight, Daniel.
And then the next one up is Genesee in Wyoming, 1606. The company in a whole leases 100 different freight railroads short line. They operate 13,000 miles of track, and they serve 30 major ports of the United States, southeast to Mexico. So they've got about half of the United States.
Yeah, you see those locomotives all over the country.
I know.
With the different initials and different herald in the middle there.
This one's your favorite, Ken, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that is the light blue. So
I
the South
really like
Carolina
this.
Public Railways.
Yes.
Let's see what we got here. So there are three different short lines that make up the South Carolina Public Railways. The Port Utilities Commission, the Port Terminal Railroad, and the East Copper and Berkeley. Again, this is all information I was able to find online, whether it be Wikipedia or Trains.com magazine. So again, these being short lines are used in plants, are used in fertilizer feed plants, are used in industrial type environments. And just some other quick information then about the PD River. I know it's a weird name, but we got a South Carolina railroad, and it serves eastern portion of the state. So whether I think these three or this one does not cover.
That's this number 1800 right here?
Correct. These two are in the South Carolina territory, as well as the G&W might be with its lease. Santa Fe Southern is way on the west side of the United States, down there in New Mexico.
Okay, we're gonna while we're shooting this on the fly, keep talking. I want to get this thing
What
off
does
of our
PD
tripod.
What's that name mean? Do you know?
It sounds like it was a historical river at one time. It said
Yeah.
like in the 1880s, 1840s,
Now
it
we
was
get
a
in there.
river named from the Native Americans that once traveled the
Okay.
land. I
Interesting.
think. Again, don't quote me on it. It'd have to be go back and research. I just
Every
only got
one
it.
of these are different. The PD River is different from the South Carolina, and look at the roof hatches on this
Yes, the horn placement, and then you've got the antennas.
Now
This
we've
is a
got
modern
we've got-
blade antenna, and then or ice skate antenna as they
Oh,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then you've got the firecracker antenna on the center of the cab. At the top.
Spark arresters on this
Yep. Spark
G&W.
arresters, extended exhaust stacks on this, but you got all your Intermountain details, handrails, lift rings. Your
Okay,
venue
so I want
hoses.
to talk about this one. I like this paint scheme a lot.
Right, the South Carolina.
I like the yellow and the blue with the white handrails.
Yeah, the yellow stripes give it a lot of what do you want to call it?
So can the
just
what's
like in pop,
can what's
yeah,
neat
down the track.
transportation buy this engine and like lease it and paint it out and say what's neat transport? I love the paint scheme.
I think you got an idea.
We
there.
need a switch engine for
Yeah,
our
we do.
for our box cars.
So, anyways, with the PD River here, it looks like. Get my notes situated here because I thought I did. Okay, here it is. So the South Carolina Railroad. So these two are in the South Carolina territory, and this serves the eastern portion of the states where I guess this can't go, or the CSX or NS. Line operates 7 days a week, and it serves multiple industries. You've got a paper mill. You've got two named Flake Wood Mills. I think it's like a flour mill, something like that.
Very cool.
You've got a carpet company that it also serves, so I bet you it distributes out carpets and stuff like that. Hanson Aggregates, which might be plastic pellets. I don't know specifically. And then you've got a Southern States fertilizer feed company.
Wow, that really hits a lot of different places, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. And it was formed in 1884 by the South Carolina Pacific Railway, which does it change its name, like Mike was asking earlier about the historical facts.
Yeah, aggregates is like crushed stone and stuff too.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
all different kinds of stuff
Yep.
like
Yeah.
that.
So, and anyways, as you guys see again, there are new box cars, and I'll tell you what,
They're
they look
awesome.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
They are.
They do. So, anyways,
I want to give a shout out to George Bogatuk. George took my Atlas locomotives. Would you say they had quantum sound in them? Because
Yes,
they're about
QSI
25 years
quantum.
old. And he put new flashing lights on the roof for me and
Yes.
put in soundtracks.
Yes, Tsunami 2.
And this is about the third time I've ever run them. I haven't had them out of the box that long. But thanks, George. Good job. I love them. I'm going to have to oil them, I think.
Those sound good too.
Yeah, they
I mean,
do.
I think they have a really realistic sound.
All right, Joshua.
All right.
One more little segment
We have
on
one
this
more
show.
thing to talk about. Daniel, you want to hold the camera here?
Sure, I will.
What's going to happen here?
Yeah, I think so. So this is a really, really long area, Ken.
This is going to be a fun project, and it's going to be really simple. It's only going to require about 200 feet of track. And here's my thought process on this. I've got this area, this island, this table. Over the past 10 years, on the What's Neat videos, we built a lot of dioramas on this. The N-scale layout, the narrow gauge layout, the N&W NS yard for Athearn. Just a lot of large, beautiful dioramas on his tabletop. But I'm not doing a lot of photography work for the manufacturers as much anymore with all this videography that we've been doing lately. So I'm thinking of utilizing this space rather than for a second table to build models on at a pinch, to actually turning this into an 18 passenger car long holding yard, staging yard for passenger trains.
Yeah.
Because I've got multiple eras of Amtrak trains in the drawers. I've got that beautiful Broadway limited California Zephyr set they did 30 years ago. I've got that set. And they're not on the layout. The layout's only got a 5-track yard back here. So that's what I was thinking of doing. Now I would come off the layout, off the switch yard here, because this is originally where my bluff module used to be in the room.
So it would come off right about here.
Yeah, where it used to come off.
Yeah, I remember those
Maybe even
days.
further back,
And then
yeah.
wrap right.
48-inch radius, 50-something inch radius, right into this diorama. And what I was thinking about doing was building this switch yard on top of this table. So I would take 1x2 wood and build myself a little box, about so high, about 9 inches high maybe, whatever the height of the layout comes out to be. And then lay some 1/4-inch Luan plywood on top, okay? And just, that would give me elbow room to lean on the table on both sides and still have a, say, 28-inch wide.
Daniel, why don't you go down there at the end just to show a little perspective on how far and how long this is going to be.
So I've laid out a couple of dioramas to see how the peninsula, the yard, would protrude into the room, to see how it affects me running around here doing my stuff. Can I fly through there? Am I going to hit anything? Is there plenty of room? Can I grab a building off the shelf and run outside and go do a photo shoot? And so far this is working. There's no duck unders to worry about. And the section that's going to curve off the yard here is going to be designed using those high-strength magnets. I remember James Regard had a name for them. I can't say what they're called. I don't know. But those really, I did many multiple lift-out sections videos for the What's Neat show showing how these magnets can hold lift-out sections into place perfectly. In fact, we glued or we stuck an N-scale layout together. That's a video clip where I was holding it up in the air, swinging it around. That's another edit. But the fact is, the magnets work for a quick lift-out section. I liked what we saw on a show that we ran 2 shows ago with Gary Hoover, with the little drop-down hinges, but that's not going to work on my curved 48 to 56-inch radius curve over there. So that's the thought process on this. From the hip, I just got the idea about 10 days ago and started laying stuff out here to see how it would work functionality-wise.
But that would be much better to have all your trains out of the drawers and be able to store some less savory things and have all your beautiful passenger cars lined up here.
And yes and no, it could be like a pool table that you never use, because once you get all the trains out into the yard here, is it going to be a large dust collector? Because really, I run a passenger train not that often. Maybe I'll run them more. Again, my layout's not operational. It's simply designed for a run-by effect. So if I run my 1991 Amtrak, my 1985 Amtrak, my 2024 Amtrak, I would have a place to put them.
passenger trains, or can you use part of it for freight?
I do. No, I don't think I would put freight in here. Well, I mean, this whole thing's got Joshua thinking about doing a redesign on his layout. Seeing Gary Hoover's standalone turntable, which is now a diorama unto itself. It's not part of the layout. You can put it anywhere in the basement you want, as long as you got a tie-in track to it. You want to elaborate on what's motivating you?
Well, so my whole thing, my first layout that I have torn down had the turntable to where I would have to get on a stool or one of those easy goes or something, climb over everything. I'm a big guy. I don't trust stuff like that.
Right.
You know, so that's why I dismayed my last layout. Now the new layout, I have a double main line running in the back, and that's going to be 5 foot away from where the end of the turntable area is going to be. And granted, I only have tracks running there and only 1 track up front, but still that's so much room. If if something derailed back there, it's a catastrophe. And I don't have any extra room to do a lift out. We talked about that as well, or a drop down for me to get there. I'm getting older, I'm big, I'm a heavy guy. I don't want to crawl around under the layout more than wiring. So Gary Hoover really just made me think of, I can do the turntable I can work on the turntable. I can put everything in the turntable and make it a masterpiece, a centerpiece of the whole layout, and be able to walk almost all the way around and just have one track that runs into my main line.
Yeah.
So now I'm double thinking. I'm to the point where I need to start working on my turntable. So now this makes me pause. What do I do now? You know, so it just gives me food for thought, and you know, I get ideas from Ken and Mike and everybody all the time. So it's great to just throw these ideas back.
I like not being in a hurry.
I agree.
It seems like if you, all the different ideas I had for that corner over there, and you know me, if I get on something, I go crazy. Like you guys can't stop me, no matter what the subject matter is.
He wanted a little town first,
Yeah.
and then he wanted just houses in
I
the
would
street.
Like used
I
car
remember
lot.
the old Campbell advertisements. The old Campbell.
Yeah.
Those were before
Yeah.
laser cut wood kits. They were stamped.
Right.
But those houses were little doll houses. You could build the Kirkwood. You could build the suburbs of Chicago.
Sure.
That architecture, that turn of the century, 1900 to
Yeah.
28 architecture.
20s, yeah.
It's beautiful. And I think having a bunch of little houses like that on a layout is really neat. I'm just not sure how to incorporate that into my philosophy here of less is better.
Right.
You can't build a bunch of houses on a 12. Well, I can't say that because if you go through that magazine I just showed you a
Yeah.
few seconds ago, that Model Railroad
It
Planning
showed
magazine, there is a guy that's simply got a photographic diorama, and it's only 12 inches wide. And if he wants to create a more interesting scene, he's got these little dowel rods and scenes that clip on the outside of his diorama to make it more depth, just for the photography. So that could
Nice
be done
idea.
here. But it would be cool as heck to see what Gary Hoover had on the layout, where he's got the little homes all lit up. They're
Yeah.
there all the time. But on a smaller scale thing, I don't know how to do that. I mean, your standard home lot is at least 75 feet wide, 50 feet wide in the city,
Yep.
and 100 feet deep. I'm not sure how to incorporate that into my layout yet. That's more thinking.
Right. Well, that's what we do here.
This
a
is
lot of
what's
things
bad
that-
about doing this live video without notes, because these thoughts are coming out and they're kind of not, they're not coherent.
Right. We're just we're a bunch of friends
Brainstorming.
hanging out and throwing ideas back and forth. You
Okay.
know. So
Let's
but that's a great part of the hobby.
This
That's
is the
what I
best
love.
hobby in the world.
It sure is, isn't it?
All right, guys, have we covered everything for this show?
I think
I
so.
think so.
Rock
I
and roll.
think so.
This one will be out early. It should be a fun edit. So with that,
Yay.
we're already running trains. But
Let's
like
go
we
run
always like to
some more.
say, oh, one more thing. Did I say this? James Regere's not here to say just one more thing. I love you, James. Listen, the new Model Railroader ads. I just got the new one done from April's. The folks at Bachmann put this together for us. And this has got the Athearn locomotive. I think it was the Support the Troops locomotive, or the Spirit locomotive. Maybe that's what it was. Running through that beautiful bridge that Parker, Central Valley, those guys made. Just a beautiful double track bridge shot out in the backyard where you can see the Mississippi River in the background during the sunrise. And it's such a great shot. I thought it would be a great one to put in the ad to draw attention to the ad. And then I think the subject matter says that this is the best hobby in the world. Or it might say, let's go run some trains. So a lot of neat ads coming out. We're very, very happy with this last one.
Well, this is a neat hobby,
Yeah, it
and
is.
let's go run some trains.
All right.
We'll
Let's
see
do
you
it.
next time.
Okay,
What a
thumbnail.
great show!
I
Yeah,
love
where
this
do,
engine
where,
room.
where do we want to do the thumbnail?
I don't know. How about just right here? Is that bad? Are we lit up good? We got lights? Let's just do something.
Should I
We got
put this back
let's
on the
just do something
tripod?
informal. How does it look? Can you get all three of us in the frame? We're gonna hold up some trains. What are we holding up? Trains.
Auto racks.
Trains. Can I do the peace sign over your head like this?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. Okay, ready, set, go. It's a professional show. Ready? We look good?
As the train falls apart
Right.
in his hand.
Okay, let camera one roll for 45 seconds. Good job, Daniel.
Yeah, watch that train go by. It's beautiful.
We got everything covered. We talked about
Yeah,
the box car,
that
the
was
mountain
fun.
piece.
It needs to flow a little bit.
Well, every time we do this, it's different people. So it just takes a little getting used to.
This time it wasn't worth that.
It's definitely an interesting way to do a show. It's easier to actually talk about something on the spot than to try to show pictures of it.
Yeah.